much so. But it's interesting, isn't it? We've both seen this in the market, that certainly moving into the second half of the year, the conversations that we're having with our clients is changing. Because in the first quarter and most of the second quarter, there was a WTF. What is this thing? Is this something I should be even bothering with? Is it just a chatbot? Is it what X or Y? Or no, let's test it. And those conversations have changed quite quickly, haven't they?
Yeah.
From, okay, well, let's have a play over here in the corner. It's almost like the IT department years ago. Oh, we've got an internet person. Oh, great, and they're back. No, it's a company. It's a company issue, and certainly a C-suite one as well. But that's changed, isn't it? Those conversations it's becoming quite quickly and so rapidly and that's why it's so fascinating that what typically takes 3 to 5 years in other kind of general purpose type technologies is happening in 6, 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
Since the end of November when GPT was launched, and those conversations are really interesting that we're having.
Yeah.
Which is exactly that. Which is, well, it's table stakes. So where do we start, and how do we kind of start crafting that strategy and what we should do as a business with AI right now?
Yeah, and they're interested as well because I think with who we're working with and talking to, they're. I found this on the web. Oh, did you?
Thank you.
Right. Okay. They're running at either end of a business, right? These conversations. So at one end, we're talking to potential clients about building, crafting the core emerging tech AI strategy for the business. And at the other end, we're in and actually building some fast, dynamic, agile teams to look within a department or a team how you move things forward at a rapid pace and extrapolate that out. And I think actually that has been the case with emerging tech. Whenever I worked in transformations for quite a while, you sort of, the companies that get both those things right are the ones that move quickest, right? You do need an overarching strategy, but if you haven't got the teams running at pace, testing and learning, then you can't execute it quick enough. Yeah. And if you've only got those, then they get lost without a strategy because they haven't got a North Star in terms of where they're headed, or that kernel of an idea, or that real sort of moonshot type approach. And so I think it's really, really interesting. And the companies that are going to do both, you're going to see fly in the next 2 to 3 years.
They'll win, yeah.
Yeah.
Also interesting this week, a couple of conversations could kind of mention with clients and people we're talking to. And one was really fascinating, which was large organisation, and the kind of dichotomy between the C-suite looking at these tools and almost rubbing their hands and saying, wow, so we can do X with Y, so we can be much more productive. We could potentially lose staff, or certainly be more productive on this side, which is the kind of the pluses of kind of business ROI. And on the other side, the balance of people being worried about their jobs. It's like, is this going to, in different teams as well, as we mentioned, it's hitting everywhere. So that's an interesting balance, and I think we're going to see much more of that over the coming period. So that kind of AI officer that you might bring in or get someone to help with, or whatever it might be, that we talk about a lot with our clients, is, I think, become more prevalent over the next few months, because those conversations aren't going to go away.
Yeah.
Where people are slightly concerned about it, they know the tech is easy to use because they're using it because it's such which is why it's exploded so quickly, because the form factor is basically Google, which everyone's used to the last 25 years. So GPT comes along, it's another text box, the form factor hasn't changed in a quarter of a century. So no wonder it's sort of, it's adopted so quickly. So they've got that over here with their staff using it at home, understanding it pretty well. They're now going, does that mean my job's going to go? Allied with the possible productivity and business benefits is an interesting question.
Yeah, completely. And it comes back to, what do you automate? And then if you do automate stuff and free up time, what do you spend your time doing?
Yeah.
Because, the stats in some areas of employees in terms of what they need are more face time with the people they work with, better feedback, clearer direction, more reinforcement of the vision. But a lot of it is interpersonal stuff. So again, if you're trying to use generative to automate the stuff that really matters in terms of relationships, you might be focusing on the wrong thing. And if you're using it in other areas to accelerate business, then, absolutely. So that whole discussion is a fascinating one to see how it plays out and what businesses do.
Yeah.
And there aren't going to be two the same, right? It's going to be different in different places.
It's bespoke. So. And exactly right. Just because you can automate doesn't mean you should. So where are the best business cases? How does it support your staff and your teams? How does it support your, obviously, financial goals and objectives?
Yeah.
How are you keeping competitive? all the questions into H2 that we're already having,
Yeah.
which I think becoming massive questions over the next 6 months for businesses.
Yeah.
All sorts of sizes as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.